In lesson 2, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about pens, lines, and shapes. Now, I've introduced you to the icons at the top of your notebook. You've got your pens, you've got your creative pens, lines, shapes. You also have your shape recognition and magic pens. So I'm going to add a new page here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the pens and how they work. Now, of course, you can choose from any of the pens that are across your bottom of your pens tab. So if I were to choose my red pen, then that's exactly what would happen, my red. If I were to choose blue, I would get a thinner blue line. And pink, I would get my pink arrow. Um, Black dotted, this is more like a highlighter. And this is kind of a highlighter, thick highlighter as well. Now, you're not limited to just these pens. You can actually create your own custom pens if you want to. And so if I were to click on this pen here that I've created, um, number one, before I create my own custom, I can change these pens to a different color. So if I didn't want the red, I could change it to blue. I could change it to purple. I could even add more colors. Like that. So if I wanted to do that, that'd be great. But I'm going to delete those. Um, but if I click on the pens tool, notice down here that I've got my Save Tool properties. So I could create my own custom tool. And let's say that I wanted a pink. Let's go to this pink right here and press OK. And then I want a really fat pink. So if I click on Save Tool Properties, notice that this color comes up here, and so this is my fat tool that I've created, the pink pen that I've created that would stay in my pen properties. So I could do that for any color, any thickness, dotted arrow, whatever I wanted to do. So that's your pen. Um, Creative pen, you can make the thickness a little different, but you really can't actually create a new custom pen, and if you can, I don't know how. Um, but let's just say that I wanted to do that. Um, Click on it, and maybe I want it a little bit bigger, so I could make it a little bit fatter. Um, I can also, I've got this pen. There's happy faces, stars. So, I mean, I don't really use the pens, or at least the creative pens, a lot, but I know the kids like it. It's just a cool way, like if you were going to have the kids circle words that they knew, or letters, or something like that, you could do that. The line tool is just that you create lines. And so notice down here you've got your thickness, you've got your line styles, so you could create more of a dotted look. You've got arrows and blocks at the end and beginning of your um, line. So let's say I wanted kind of a fat line, um, maybe a little bit of a dotted line, and let's say I wanted this color, um, and I created that, and I like that. Maybe I want to save that as one of my, so you'll notice that I have that tool saved into my line tool. Um, I've got the screen, I've got the pinkish purplish line, the red line. Another cool line that I like sometimes when I'm making things, I can draw on here sometimes, but you can make a curved line, which is nice, and a curved arrow. And you can make it go like that. It can be long, tall. So you get the idea about your lines. And there again, if you select them, you can change their colors um, by going to your properties, and which is over here. And so you can make it thicker, um, and you can make it different, look different, and however, in whatever way you want to. So that's a nice feature. Um, let's go to the shapes. And here you've got lots of shapes that you can choose from. Um, there's lots and lots and lots. See, and you just click on that arrow to go back and forth to the different shapes that you want. So if I wanted to create a circle, notice how big it gets. And it's really hard to adjust the size like you want when you first make it, but then you can stop making it and then you can adjust it however you want. So that's always a nice feature, so you don't have to worry about making it perfect the first time. If you want it to be um, less of a circle, you've got your options of ovals, you've got your options of the squares without the corners at the end. Um, I mean, you could have any shape really, just about that you wanted. There's even a heart in here somewhere. The heart's kind of neat. Um, and I think, let me look at this heart and let's see if we can do something. Notice that this heart is filled with a color. Let's say I didn't want it to be pink. Notice how I could click on the purple and it would turn, the fill would be purple, and I could even go to the line and change it to say blue. So I've changed the way my heart looks, which is a cool feature. Then another cool thing is you have your arrows, which is neat. So you can make arrows. You could make check marks and X's. So if you wanted to show kids if they got the right answer, that would be a good way to do that. Um, and also you've got this like speech bubble thing, which is neat. So lots of different options. You could put words on top of this, which I'll show you more about how to group things and so forth later. Um, because the feel is really nice to go with your shapes, I'm going to show you this one real quick, the paint bucket. If I wanted to paint this a certain color, this arrow, let's say I wanted it to be the same color as, let's say I wanted it to be the same color as this right here, this orange. I'm going to click on that and then I'm going to click inside and notice it turns it the orange color. So the eyedropper tool is really nice because it allows you to kind of customize your colors a little bit. So if I wanted that green color, I could make it that. Because sometimes the colors that they have, you don't, um, maybe you can't match it just perfectly. So that's a real nice feature. And you can actually add custom tools, custom colors as well. So that's your filler. That's a nice one. Um, and then let me go to a new page and show you the custom. This is like a shape recognition. This is kind of difficult. If you're drawing your shapes on the smartboard, then you have to be real careful, especially like squares and triangles. Sometimes you do not get, like this one's probably not going to work. Well, it did. Sometimes it's hard to get a straight line, but these are working pretty good. You see how I didn't get a point here. If I wanted to get a circle, let's see, circles are usually easier to get a circle, but it allows me to draw my shape and then make it more recognizable. So that's a neat feature. And then my magic pen is basically I can circle something that I want to focus on like this. And there you notice that it just focuses in on that one shape and darkens all the other shapes. And I can move around the page when that finger, see how it's pointing? I can move it around like this. But now let's say that I wanted to focus on two shapes at a time. Notice how here I've got my finger pointing, but then as I move my cursor up, you've got these two arrows. So if I wanted to make it bigger, I would just hold down on my mouse and drag it outward so it would make it bigger, or drag it in to make it smaller. Same on your smartboard as well. You'd have your two arrows and you just move out, move in. So that's a really cool feature for the Magic Pen, and the kids think it's really cool. So there you have it. You have the pen tool, the creative pen, your lines, shapes, the recognition shape, and your magic tool with a little bit of that fill tool blended in for you. So this should help you at least get started on creating some of these cool shapes or pens.